Well, whether you're a vegetarian, vegan, or just looking for a few more meatless options, there's a new report that aims to shed light on the sustainability of top chain restaurants based on their inclusion of plant-based offerings. Joining me now is Lynn Kavanaugh, Farming Campaign Manager with World Animal Protection Canada. Lynn, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So how did they do? Let's just start with the bad news.
Yes. So, our Moving the Menu report, we ranked 23 fast food restaurant chains across Canada from A to F on their plant-based offerings, their commitment to meat reduction, and their efforts to promote plant-based foods. And the clear winner, I guess, or the clear leader is Chipotle because they have several plant-based offerings on their menu, and they promote the benefits, the health and environmental benefits of eating more plant-based foods to consumers. Several companies, restaurants like Harvey's and Burger King scored a C, showing that there's a little progress, but there's much improvement to be made. And unfortunately, a number of companies scored an F, showing that they really need to step it up. McDonald's really stands out, not having even one plant-based menu offering for consumers.
Are you surprised? I mean, it must be difficult for some of these, like the chicken chains and McDonald's with their Big Mac. How do they offer alternatives to that? That's their bread and butter.
Right. Well, I mean, we know that animal agriculture is, a huge contributor to greenhouse gas emissions compared to plant-based foods, and consumers are wanting more of that. They care about, the environment and their health, and the plant-based industry is projected to grow into the future. And so it's a real opportunity for these businesses to sort of get in on the ground and, start to show that they're changing with the times. And for every plant-based meal consumers eat, they reduce their carbon emissions. So I think that plant-based foods can be the bread and butter too. It's just times are changing and we need to go with it.
Are we seeing more people go to plant-based diets?
Well, data shows that Canadians are eating less meat, and the plant-based sector is growing, and it's projected to grow quite a bit into the future. So, yeah, absolutely. Consumers are more open, and they're embracing these kinds of foods, and they've come a long way in taste too. Of course, taste is a criterion. Some of these foods are really delicious, and people want to eat healthy, and they want to eat with the climate in mind.
Now, I thought I've heard some reports, and you can hopefully clarify this for me, that some of those plant-based products, the way they're processed, they're not as good for you as just eating vegetables and clean.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of processing for sure. I think they're better than the old style veggie burger. But look, a fast food burger isn't the healthiest option too. People eat it for a variety of reasons. It might be a treat. It might be low cost. But if we look at the Beyond Burger, it's 270 calories with 20 grams of protein, which is a big protein hit for that number of calories. And so if we're comparing it to like another fast food meal, in terms of the nutritional quality, I think it stands up.
And would it take much for these chains to offer more and up their report cards?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that they can do it. They just need to start introducing items. They do market research around the kinds of things that consumers like. And I think that one of the things that they can do is by trialing different options on their menu, promote them to consumers, give them, Chipotle does a fun thing where they have plant-based Fridays, so free delivery from an app for a plant-based meal on Friday. So they can do a lot of fun things to encourage consumers to try things and encourage uptake. And I mean, they're a company, they're in the business of, trialing new things and meeting the expectations of consumers.
Okay, Lynn, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Lynn Kavanaugh is the Farming Campaign Manager with World Animal Protection Canada.